They have to give you water.
That's the most dad thing.
This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in? G? Yeah.
I was going to say that fourth channel needed it.
Hey, we're rolling right now, right? We're rolling right now. Hey, welcome to Church Stories. We're rolling. Welcome to Church Stories podcast. We don't have a new intro, okay? Just welcome to the show, all right? If you're listening, you're listening, all right? I don't even have to welcome you. You're here, all right?
Why are you? It's like starting off hostile.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
very
sorry.
aggressive.
I'm sorry. I need to figure out a better way to communicate with our listeners. But they haven't left, so here we are. PD, how you doing, dog?
I'm doing good.
Sipping on that liquid death?
Yep. This seems to be, a big topic lately on the show.
PD, it's
mountain
just
water.
Mountain water. It's just mountain water. It's just mountain water.
The most aggressive mountain water.
Yes, the edgiest mountain water that exists.
Can you lift your mic up closer to your mouth?
Unnecessarily aggressive.
I've tried.
Oh, just unhook that thing.
This thing?
Yes.
And then put it up?
Yes.
But the shelf.
Just lean the recliner back.
Problem.
The
shelf.
Sure? Okay.
Do you see the shelf?
Okay,
right
PD.
here?
Look. Okay. Can you reach down? There's a unscrew that thing. Yeah.
PD needs a new corner.
Unscrew
Nope,
this
not that.
Here.
No. The handle on the pole.
Okay, this right here.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, so I lift that up. Okay. And then I screw it again the other way.
Yes. This reminds me of like a big. This reminds me of. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this in or not, but this is like so many conversations with my wife are just kind of like I tried. I don't know. I couldn't.
Hey,
I tried.
I did the bare minimum.
I tried, and but
but
it's like the other
look
day,
at me now, with my mic up to my face.
You can talk back and we could hear you better with this rebuttal. But like the other day, my wife wanted to return something to UPS, some Amazon order, and then she came home and she was like, "Yeah, did you notice that they like demolished a bunch of buildings over there in the UPS store? They had demolished that building too." And I was like, "Yeah, it's on the other side of the street." She was like, "Oh, I didn't see it." And I was like, "Did you search? Did you Google it or anything?" She was like, "No, I just figured they tore it down." So it's like the whole beat. Like I tried. I tried.
I tried it. It won't move.
I did everything.
It's a solid rock.
It's same energy.
So what's your introduction to that?
My introduction is, hey, I'm Shama, and I'm wearing a white tee. Listen, I don't wear a lot of white tees because I feel like karma is not good for me. When I wear something white, anything that I touches with color is gonna get on that tee. Anything I eat, like I wouldn't dare go to a Mexican restaurant after this. You know what I mean? I'd change tees, but I'm feeling bold, and that's who I am. I'm wearing white, previously white shoes, and a brand new white tee. That's me right now. We got our producer in the corner. Same corner. New Chase.
New direction. I'm Chase, and I'm trying to look like Jamie Lee Curtis all the time. So I'm wearing my women's sunglasses.
Yo, straight up. Straight up. Hey, our guest here today is a longtime friend of the show. Oh, shoot. He getting the treatment. He's a longtime friend of the show. I could probably thank him for kind of co-writing the first reel that I should say I made a coffee one. He owns a coffee shop here in town called Cohesive Coffee. He's worked for churches in worship ministry and also music and also programming lights. He's the first guest who brought his own headphones. Oh!
And all I know about him is he's friends with Andrew Simmons.
Oh!
So,
ladies and gentlemen, Josh
Williams.
Thank you.
I didn't know your last name, so that was real improv right there.
It's like those SNL ones where they're making the song up as they go.
Yeah. Super funny. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you. The mannequin scared me. a second ago. I forgot he was there.
Yeah.
That happens a
And
lot.
I looked and it's a fifth cast, mister.
I picked that up from Asheville, North Carolina one Sunday. This lady was like, hey, you come get it. So I drove up by myself, listened to podcasts all the way, got there, and brother, nothing has scared me. This building is scary. Nothing has scared me in this building more than the thing that I purchased for cash and installed myself. Every time I'll come in here, I'm like, freak. So now I'll leave the lights on to try to, give me at least a little bit of just kind of like, okay, what
I
am I
used to
walking
use
into?
mannequins to program lights.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can't leave them up on Sunday, so I just put them in closets that have windows looking
Facing out.
looking out into, into the building.
That's so funny. Oh man, Josh, I've known you for a minute, man.
Yeah.
I went to a concert at Cohesive, the coffee shop that you own and operate.
I do.
And we're gonna get into that. And then at the shop, Andrew was like, "Hey, you need to meet Josh. I feel like you'd really hit it off." And so we talked, and then I was like, "Hey, can I shoot something in here?" And you were like, "Yeah, sure." So I came in and shot that one Christian coffee shop, which your coffee shop is not that one Christian coffee shop.
We got so many followers and then unfollows.
People were like, "Oh, this is a lot less Christian than I thought it was." And then we've just connected and stayed. And then we did another video recently. That
Yeah, we
should
just did
see
the other one.
the light of day, starring myself and Chase from the corner. So yeah, I'm very excited, man. We're gonna talk about your experience in church, how you got into coffee, and more.
Ooh.
And how did you know Andrew? How did you meet Andrew?
So I knew Andrew because we hired him
At Cohesive.
at Cohesive. We ran in the same circles through Marathon and some other churches, stuff like that. But then through Eric, my manager at the cafe, also works at the church we record here at. He said that we needed a person, and Andrew fit that bill.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
One of the nicest people you can think of for a coffee shop environment.
Andrew really is, man.
He has a coffee shop vibe.
He really does. And he's like one of those people that's like helpful, It's like, hey, how do I do this? And I'm like, well, let me help you. And you're like, nobody's that enthusiastic. Like one time I was over at his house and he was like, hey, do you want some coffee? And I was like, yeah, sure. Just tell me, what are you about to do here? And he like walked me through the process. And I was like, hey, I know so many friends who are really into coffee. None of them have given me the thorough tutorial that you have today, this random Thursday at your house today. And so for that reason, I was like, I'm going to get into coffee. And I have not yet, but
But eventually, it's on my
I will.
list.
Yeah.
Dude, we got a bad review one time when he was working. It just said like customer service is lacking, and I think I just responded with, nope. It's impossible.
That's it. That's all I need. That
No.
person, did they take the review?
They're off the internet completely now. No.
Really? Oh.
No, of course.
They were like, that dude told me nope one time. And I cracked my phone
No,
over my
Google
knee.
reviews are like the Wild West. It doesn't matter what you say in return. Nobody ever comes back to it.
Yeah.
It's just there forever.
Yeah.
They could say something wrong. We got a 1-star review from somebody one time that just said, don't like coffee.
Maybe they had never tried it, and this is their first time.
Like, I want to call Google and say, like, hey, can we get this taken down?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's
You
there
can't-
forever.
Really?
It's there forever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now let me ask you, what are your thoughts then on the review process? Like, as a business owner who,
And then, can I tell a story that you?
yeah, well,
Okay.
I don't know
You
the story.
about a review that I left.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, what is your thought? Like, is it good? Is it bad? Do you rely on reviews when you're out of town, trying to visit coffee shops or restaurants or steakhouses or whatever?
I'm not reviewing, or I'm not one that goes
Reading?
It,
Yeah.
it takes so long to leave a review.
It's such a commitment.
Yeah, I got one review one time. It was just a 3-star, and it said it was okay. And I was more angry at that one because of the time it took for them to log into Google, find the shop, write it out, and they're just like, it's all right.
Well, what does that mean?
Yeah, you're like, would you go back? I guess.
Usually, you just give a review to your waiter or waitress.
Yeah.
It was good.
The only bad reviews you really get are bad reviews, and then the reviews you ask your friends to help you come back up
Yeah.
in the stars.
That's so
Like,
yeah.
nobody's going on to be like, I really had a great time. It was fine.
But then I've heard, like, I've been on Amazon looking at stuff, and then people will review, like, the packaging, or like, it came damaged. And I'm like, but did it work though, dog?
Yeah.
Like, did it work for you? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What is your review tale?
All right. I'll expose this.
man.
Hopefully, no one from work.
Do you
is
know this,
listening.
Chase?
I
Oh,
you know it too.
Okay, I do.
So was thinking that'd be very funny. So I work at the Peddler Steakhouse, and I thought it'd be very funny if I was to write a review that was very positive, but only negative about the manager.
Food,
So
fantastico. Management, absolute. Please saw him in half and throw him in the dumpster.
His business leadership was lacking.
let me see.
You just have it.
I sent it to Marley.
You have it close.
I sent it to Marley, so I knew where to find it. So I went to my Facebook, which used to be PD Bachman, and I was like, I never use this, so I could just repurpose this Facebook account to make the. Oh, Chase is gonna pull up the account.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but keep talking. It's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to my profile picture, and it's like, I'm just gonna pick a random thing. So I found this black dude, probably 30 years old, and I named him Cedric B Johnson. And do you want to just go to the Peddler Steakhouse
Yeah, I can
reviews?
do that.
Is this recent?
Oh,
Pretty
so
recent.
recent.
You're gonna
Like
have to,
right before I got here.
Did you give it a 5? Did you give it a 5?
I think so.
Okay.
Or
So
no,
they're
no,
not even
you
gonna
can't
read it.
do
They're just gonna
stars.
enjoy it.
You
Oh.
can't do stars. You
All
can
right.
only say I recommend this or I don't.
Is it this one, Pete?
See, do you
here it
recommend
is.
the Peddler Steakhouse?
Quite enjoyed my peddler experience. Rustic atmosphere, top-notch customer service, and the salad was chopped to perfection. But the manager, at least I think she was the manager.
See that at least I think is really important because it
yeah.
makes it seem more real.
True.
blonde lady was acting, no G, just ACTIN.
That's how Cedric rolls.
In a fool. Cedric B Johnson.
And then Cedric blew like way out of proportion.
This is on Cedric's profile. Money saving tip: if it's raining outside, don't order a drink at the restaurant. Just go outside when you get thirsty.
There's so many.
Steven universe, nah, Cedric universe.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Oh, there's Shama.
I said blessings to you on this wonderful Sabbath, brother. Hashtag amen. And Cedric didn't respond. Oh. And Cedric said, this is Cedric B Johnson is at Greensboro City Hall celebrating 8 years of public service today.
You have a career.
Yeah. Greensboro City Hall.
Was he elected?
He
Yes.
said, although my policies have been controversial, they have been effective.
And people keep like adding to the bit.
Oh my god.
Marley,
Marley.
said, hello, can you please mentor me? I'm willing to pay a significant amount of money for a God-fearing mentor. Thank you, period. God bless you, period.
I guess Petey sent Marley a friend request.
I
And
did.
it said one mutual friend, Chase. And so she texted me. She said, "Hey, who is Cedric?" And I said, "Our Lord and Savior Cedric B Johnson."
Hey, little, no
Little L.
capitalizations.
Oh, read my
Little
reply to her.
Oh yeah.
I replied, yeah.
You said, absolutely. You don't have to pay anything up front for my mentorship, but I will take 10% of your earnings for the rest of your life. PD is full of antics.
Apparently.
Here's another classic from Cedric.
Keep calm and wash your hands.
A little late for that one.
You said, stay safe, greenie babies.
Yeah,
Are
that's
those
what I call the people. I
citizens
mean,
of
that's what he calls the
Greensboro?
people of Greensboro. Yeah,
Cedric feels empowered by speaking about himself in the third person.
And this is for nobody.
it's
You
really.
should-
It was
you should-
only for Chase for a while.
You should write for like the Muppets. This is like the same, the same energy. Like Elmo feel important when Elmo talk about himself in the third person.
But
This
I
is the
got
same
so
kind
much
of like,
joy out of knowing that the only person who's gonna see it is Chase.
And then we like started building a universe. Like he has a wife.
Yeah.
I have a friend that changed his name on Facebook frequently
Yeah.
to just dumb stuff. And apparently Facebook has a limit, and he has been stuck as the greatest showman Johnson. he sent letters to Facebook, and they're like, "No, you can't change." He's like, "But I got ID." They're like, "It's gonna be easier just to change your identity at this point." Like,
Really? Wow.
like you have to completely delete your Facebook and start over.
Oh my gosh, man.
And so this was like 3 years ago. He still is the greatest showman.
It's terrible. Was this after the movie?
I
the
hope.
Greatest show or whatever. Greatest show.
He wasn't that great of a showman.
So when I was writing,
Showmanship is lacking.
when I was writing the restaurant review, I
Blonde
had two
lady, I
coworkers, Julie and her sister Gianni were next to me, and I was like, "Hey, I need help with something." I'm writing a peddler review, and then at the end of it, I was like, "I'm posting this, and you're accomplices, so you're trapped."
You're in it.
Yeah.
You know, PD is the dumbest smart person I know. Oh man. Hey, Josh. Okay, so this is church stories. How much experience do you have of being in church? Your parents were pastor?
my dad was a pastor here in town.
Okay.
He was the missions pastor or youth pastor / missions pastor.
Okay.
So never the high up. So I got all the scrutiny of a pastor's kid without any of the perks of a pastor's kid. Like the pastor's kids could just like run amok.
Yeah.
And then there was me, and like I wore a hat to church one time and I got scolded by this old man that was like, the kids in Africa don't wear hats. And I was like,
You got the worst of both worlds.
I was like, is it because they don't have them? Or like, why aren't they wearing hats?
That Hannah Montana drop existed for something.
About time.
Yeah, there was I was a pastor's kid, and I'm not gonna lie, knowing that I was untouchable, it kind of gave me, I don't know, man. I would show up to church late. I'd sit in the back. I'd sag my pants. I was up to no good. And
All
people
the
like,
deadly sins.
Dude.
Late sagging.
Worst I could think of.
Sagging and dragging and it's not smoking and drinking. It's just minor offenses, but are huge in evangelical circles.
I remember
Wearing the hat backwards.
Yeah, like, oh, yikes.
I got in trouble for my character on Tony Hawk's, like his pants were sagging. So I got in trouble for my character's pants sagging.
That is okay. So the Bible talks about like stay away from the appearance of evil. What about another entity's appearance of evil that you're involved with?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, not even your character. You
gotta have godly characters.
I saw your Grand Theft Auto character robbing a car. All right.
He should be witnessing to the people in the
Like,
car.
I'm sorry, dude.
That button doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not on Xbox, man. So wait a second. Who told you this? Your
My dad.
Your dad was like, your Tony Hawk character is sagging his
He
pants.
saw it. He was not happy.
Was there even an option to give him a belt? I know you can select the wheels, you can select the board, you can select the shoes, but no, that pant height. That's where it is.
I don't think I was given enough time to explain that.
Yeah, you were.
Skaters don't
Like, I don't
wear
have that
belts.
update.
They wear shoelaces as a belt.
Yeah. Every time I hear about skaters, I always think about my friend whose younger sister was telling her brother. She was like, "Yeah, I'm dating a skateboarder now.
No.
I'm dating a skateboarder now." And her brother was like, "Well, where does he skate?" She was like, "I don't know. He always carries a skateboard, so he skates now." And my friend's brother was like, "How are his shoes?" And she was like, "They're nice. They're nice." She was like, "He's not a skater. Skateboarders don't have nice shoes because they skate in them." And that was the only gotcha moment that I thought, "Oh shoot!" Whereas
That's like a monk moment.
Yeah. That's what is it? That's like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Like
they realized that the guy in the wheelchair was a killer because his shoes are scuffed.
Yeah, I haven't seen
You're like
Monk in such a long time. He just took me back in my mind.
Oh man.
Oh, days when you're homesick and you're just watching USA.
Yep, and that and suits and white collar and
Bro, no joke. My brother, who listens to the show, all he watched was USA shows. He watched what is that? Big Fat? No. There were
Burn
several.
Notice.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice
Mr.
was
Robot.
Burn Notice was really good. Though.
Although they would make things up that were like, I saw somebody like, if you want to evacuate a building, take a paper box and then just duct tape a extension cord to it, and people will think it's a bomb. And they're like, that's the easiest way to get someone out of a building.
This was tips because you like break the fourth wall.
No, just
so
people so the main character I think would kind of break the fourth wall a little bit, narrate while stuff was going on.
Yeah.
Dude,
And he was just making up stuff.
oh yeah, it's like I got burned. That means I got fired or something.
Yeah, it's like, and when you get burned, you have nothing.
Yeah.
No money, no passport. I just remember the intro.
Dude, we could
'cause my
probably
brother would
we
watch
could probably all quote the opening just because it's the same one.
it. It's the same one every episode too.
And they aired it like back to back,
Oh,
like 12
Gosh,
hours.
man. Yeah. My brother.
What is the whole?
watch
Can you
all
play the intro? I just want to hear it.
This is why we have Chase in the corner. Look up Burn Notice intro.
The script.
No, not just the intro, not the song, dog.
Well, there's no.
You can
there's,
tell
no,
he's
it's
not
a-
familiar
There's
with
no
Burn-
song.
There's- yeah,
it's
it's just
that.
yeah.
The theme song is just Burn Notice intro.
He's like, I woke up, my girlfriend left me, I gotta go fight people. That's what it is. No.
That's it in a nutshell.
I'm in a Hawaiian shirt. I feel like every episode. No, there was a guy.
yeah,
who just
Bruce
wore it.
Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta.
Here it is.
Oh, this is about to die.
What is?
The laptop, but I have a charger.
Is it because it got a burn notice?
Oh, I'm a laptop.
We're gonna pull that up.
I need a charger. I've been
burned. No, man, your laptop just died, man. That's not. God, dog, you're on 8% right now, dog.
Hey,
You might need
Do
to.
you need a charger?
I have one. I am a good producer.
You might need to unhook my computer from the Bluetooth. But okay, we're gonna. Hey, let's put a pin in Burn Notice real quick. We're gonna come back to it.
put a pin in burnout.
Put it.
How many times that's been said?
Never. First time.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, there are certain things that certain things on like TV and radio that just happened, and then we all just kind of collectively agree to never talk about them. And Burn Notice, I would never expect to ever talk about Burn Notice.
Anything on USA
Ever
other
since
than
like 2012.
Psych.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
I like.
Yeah, we'll talk about Psych all day, but that's the only thing that came out of USA.
Yeah.
Other than I guess like NCIS
Yeah,
reruns.
Did anybody else watch White Collar?
Yes.
My brother used to watch. I watched Little White Collar too.
When you
I
think
was a
about the
fan of
plot,
that
it
one.
was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
The plot was so bad, but you loved it.
What was it? It was like too long.
It was an art thief who was doing white collar crimes, and then the FBI agent who arrested him had pity on him, so he brought him in as a consultant, even though the guy was definitely still stealing stuff.
Okay.
End of show.
And is still like committed crimes
And
throughout.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen was on it.
I
Yeah.
love that shows like that. They go, hey, do y'all want 12 seasons? Do y'all want 12 seasons while we're at it? And they're like, yeah, of course we want 12 seasons. And then they just keep on.
It's like Prison Break.
Yeah.
Prison
yeah.
Break should have been a USA show.
What was it? What was it on?
Fox, I think.
Oh.
I think it was CW, wasn't it?
You
No,
wanna know what's-
it was before that.
You want to know what's crazy?
Well, WB.
Prison Break, huge in Tanzania.
Really?
Massive, dude. They
It's the
had
only country they
DVDs.
didn't go to prison in.
Yeah, they should have.
They were in
should have
prison in
did a
every country.
stint. Yeah, huge. I'm talking. I had friends. I didn't even know about Prison Break, and I lived in America for like half of my life. But my friends, they'd be like, "Oh, you gotta watch Prison Break," and they'd watch it and quote it. But yeah. It was like what eight seasons, and
Yeah,
it's all like
the first
we got
season they
caught.
break out of prison.
We break out of prison, and then we get caught again, and we're back in prison.
back
we
in
break
prison.
out, and then at one point they're like in Mexico.
Or they're in a Mexican
prison
with their old warden.
And you're like, hey, what's going on here? And then they're like, oh, will they break out? Well, the show is called Prison Break, so
And then
it's
the
kind of
guy-
what's got to happen.
The guy dies at the end, and then they make a movie 7 years later, and they open with, "Psych, he wasn't dead."
And you're like, come on.
Spoilers.
Well, the problem with TV is that like once you can think critically, it's not as good most of the time anymore.
Nah.
That's fair.
I was on Reddit the other day, and somebody was talking about how like they hate the redundancy. Somebody on Twitter, Reddit, somebody had said, hey, I edited down Pawn Stars to just what the episode contains without like, hey, we're previously on, now we're back. And they said the episode was 10 minutes long.
What?
Was 10 minutes long, because all the other stuff is like exterior shot and like, hey, my friend said that he said all I could do is $12, and then the guy was like, well, I think it's actually worth more. Previously my friend thought, and so they just do that whole song and dance, and they'll be like, oh, my cousin just got a lawnmower that I need to go check out.
It's always, let me call a buddy of
Let me
mine.
call a buddy, or let me go visit a buddy, and that's that whole thing. But there's no actual content, and I heard they do that to catch channel skippers, because they know like people who are skipping channels, they need to be brought up to speed. That's why when you're at like, I don't know, man, like getting your oil changed at some place and a TV's on and they're watching some reality TV, you're in the loop the whole time.
It's like, well, I gotta know now.
Because they're always repeating the same thing where it's like, Chloe said that she didn't want to go to the store with me. And then it cuts to, then they're at the store and then they said she didn't, and it's a whole thing. Hey, back to Burn Notice, everybody. You got it, Chase?
Yeah.
My name is Michael Weston. I used to be a spy until...
We got a burn notice on you. You're blacklisted.
When you're burned, you've got nothing. No cash, no credit, no job history. You're stuck in whatever city they decide to dump you in.
Miami.
You do whatever work comes your way. You rely on anyone who's still talking to you.
Look at that camera.
A trigger-happy ex-girlfriend.
You shoot them.
An old friend who's informing on you to the FBI.
You know, spies. Bunch of little girls.
Oh, no.
Well, it's a
Is that
censor.
your mom again?
If you're desperate.
Someone needs your help, Michael.
Bottom line, until you figure out who burned you, you're not going anywhere.
Legendary.
When you think about that last shot, it was this huge stairwell, and he's just hiding behind a wall.
I'm hiding.
Yeah.
I'm hiding. And I'm peeking. I just peeked
Just
out,
in case.
And then I'm back behind
Just in case
the wall.
nobody's gonna see me as the only person up here behind this giant wall.
You were talking about like TV. You said what did you say earlier? Once you
Once you can critically think.
Right. Because what makes for critical thinking doesn't make for good TV. Like somebody hiding like in public where they can, they're like, can they see us? No, they can. Of course they can see you, but it's written that they can't see you, dog. And that's like
and
TV.
some things they just age so badly. Like
so
shaky cam. I was watching an old episode of ECW. It was like wrestling in the 90s, and to make it more intense, they were just announcing matches and they were just shaking the camera the whole time and like zooming in on the guy's face like really
Wait,
close.
Like, during what? Like, hey, today
it's just going like, oh, we've got a match later. It's gonna be this person versus this person, and blah blah blah, and then like shaky cam the whole time.
Now they just use like freaking fire emojis all through the bottom of the screen. Fire, and then it's like name, like titles or whatnot.
I really think the cameraman was like, whoa.
They had him on a skateboard for some reason.
Yeah.
Hey, but he had nice shoes on.
But he had nice
so
shoes.
You knew he wasn't a skateboarder for real.
Maybe the reason the camera looked like that is because he was on the treadmill and trying to operate a camera at the same time.
I was wrestling on a show once, and they had the camera on a tripod, but every time we would bump, the tripod would shake, and the camera would move. And they were like, it adds to it. You just got it adds
and you're
to
like,
it.
nah, dog. Y'all bought a $25 tripod from Walmart. Just say so.
I was wrestling this dude, and he was like huge. He was like 350 pounds. He went off the top rope. He shook the ground so hard that the tripod fell over and broke their camera.
Show over.
Were you like, you were like, man, you broke our camera. You're like, no. It adds to it. It adds, believe me, that cracked lens on the front, texture, it adds to it. People sell plugins that do that. And we gave that to you for free.
My biggest pet peeve watching TV comes from WWE, and it's because they do like 20 camera cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Every
dude.
15 seconds.
Action movies do that.
You worked for churches with like big production. Brother, the production, I came in here when we were recording an episode and Chase was like, oh, the TV, and BD was like, oh, the mic. And I'm like, guys, hold on, everybody. I was just like respectfully like, hey, everybody let's just shut up for just a second, please. There are 4 cameras and 4 microphones. Let's just hold on, and I gotta plug in a computer. Let me just figure it out. So anytime people are like, oh, like I have a friend who does a lot of like audio and visual stuff for big conferences, and I'm like, brother, I'd probably curl up into a ball under the table and die. All right, bro. Especially if something started humming. What? You just gotta walk out of the event space and leave. I can't come back to that.
No, that we had a. The worst is when you'd have people that would like show up randomly. This is at the church I was a worship leader at, but I was also in charge of production because those are easy jobs.
Yeah.
You don't do anything.
Just double up. Hey, we're paying you a cool $21,000 a year.
Yeah, who's getting that much?
Even that. Yeah, I said that out loud. We're like, hey, that's like 4 interns right there.
That's almost livable.
Yeah.
But they would show up. We had so many people that show up late with like a CD with PowerPoint on it. That when we bought a new computer, I specifically bought one without a CD drive.
Yeah.
So I could be like, oh, sorry, I told you to email it to me. They're like, well, we don't have. And I was like, you don't have email?
Oh, my bad.
Well,
looks
like
like
email, dog?
nobody's gonna see your PowerPoint.
You don't have email?
I'm sure it's a great PowerPoint though.
How do you not have email? You've got Netflix.
Well, this was during a time when your email was at home because that's where your computer was. You just didn't have.
That wasn't
email.
that long ago. It was like 4 years ago.
This is back when the email was in a box that you had to open with a safe.
You drove to the internet cafe.
You had to go to the cafe to get the email. This is unnecessary. It's too late. I left my email at the home at the computer. I don't even do a good Cosby, but here it is.
But
here
it
we
is.
are.
All right, so speaking of that church, I do have a story.
I thought you were about to say, speaking of Cosby.
You got a story? He swung by the shop. Hold on.
Related.
Oh, no.
So 1 year for Easter at this church, it's a local church.
Church that should not be named.
That should not be named, but could probably easily be figured out. We had this Easter idea, and the pastor loved shock value. Like everything was shock. He wanted it to be the next New Spring.
Yeah.
I think he actually said that at one point, and was like, "Did I say that out loud?"
You're like, the quiet part.
You did.
Yeah.
From Sage. And he was like, "I want to have a big thing," so he wanted to use a chainsaw.
Oh no.
So yeah. So my idea was to get a really beautiful piece of furniture or like a statue, and talk about how like sin kind of chips away at you slowly, and takes you from something beautiful into something ugly, and God brings you back. What actually ended up happening was he waited till the last minute, got some sticks from the back of the church property that were like waterlogged and like maybe this thick around.
Oh no!
Just had them in laying, and then fired up. Like we had a really awesome worship session, and then he fired up the chainsaw, gas powered, mind you. And he gets so excited about the chainsaw that he forgets what he's saying. So he's trying to lift off. He's trying to like list sins.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I don't know what your sin is. Maybe you're lying, or maybe you're watching porn, or maybe you just." And he gets caught in a loop. He goes, "And you just can't stop watching porn. And maybe you're hosting porn parties."
With a chainsaw.
And he's screaming this over.
And people are like, "Sir!"
He comes off stage.
And it's chipping away at you. And it's
He comes off stage. And he goes, "How was it?" I go, "Do we need to talk? Are you okay?"
Oh no!
And that's why you'll never be Stephen Furtick or whoever you want to be.
You'll never be Perry. Nobody wants to be.
You gotta have the conviction to call people on their porn parties.
With a chainsaw.
I
bet you that cured somebody. Somebody's like, oh, he's
guys, I gotta cancel the Evite for tonight.
Or they just thought they were gonna get murdered.
But I was like, is this the 70s?
Yeah.
He got out of chainsaw. He's like, who's sinning? Bring him to me.
Is it you?
Dude, that reminds me of a church that I know and have done some work for. The pastor who said some controversial things. Ooh. Believe it or not, right? Believe it or not, he's one of those pastors
saying controversial things.
And
shock.
And the youth pastor, he had just fired the youth pastor, the week of, before. And so he goes on stage and he's telling everybody, "Hey, I had to fire. I'll call him Jimmy, the youth pastor over this past week." And he was trying to like explain to the people, "Hey, like, the youth pastor has been here for many years. I'd let him go." And he just, all he said was, he was like, "Yeah, I had to fire Jimmy, and he didn't do nothing wrong. He wasn't watching like porn or anything." and then kept going from there and was like, "Yeah, but we had to let him go." And I'm like, "Hey, man, now it sounds like that's the reason why you let him go."
I remember hearing that.
Yeah,
because that video circulated.
And I'm like, "Hey, dude, yeah, I had to fire Josh. He wasn't like, like beating up homeless people in the alley or anything." You're like, "Hey, man, he sounds like he was beating up homeless people in the alley."
He didn't kill them.
Oh, you're like, okay.
I had to fire Shama. It's not like he was doing stand-up in his sermons or anything.
But, that's the thing, man. There are some people who are, what is the term? Like, they're so heavenly minded that they're no earthly good.
Ooh.
What does that mean? Is that bad?
I'm lost. I don't even know what that's.
Well, so their whole
heavenly
the thing is that they're,
so it means like they're too focused on being like in their own little bubble, maybe.
They're in the world, but not of the world.
Right. So, and I'm not saying like you need to know what every single thing slang is.
Safe search ain't gonna allow that.
But it would help you in case you were to then say the horrible thing in front of a room full of people.
Well, yes. The thing is that I just find the thing that bothers me the most, and you've worked in church, you grew up in church, and you've worked in churches, is just like the lack of originality. Because ultimately that's what Christians are like, we're grasping at those straws. Is Drake will say you only live once, and then churches will be like, so I'll have a whole series about
whatever happened to pastors when they would have like this weird collection of catchphrases that they would use.
Yeah,
that some of them meant nothing religiously.
No,
I had a pastor that said like, people think it's a sin for women to wear makeup. I think it's a sin for some women not to wear makeup. And he would say that from stage.
He's progressive and misogynist.
Yeah, like he would say that from stage repeatedly.
Do we clap or do we fire him?
Like people would start saying that along with him.
Yeah,
like it was like his slogan.
I was
people
around,
would though.
Bro,
I was around for a while where it seemed like church camps all had like off-brand sodas that they named.
Oh man,
with like a church theme.
It was like
a Coca-Cola logo, but it would be like Christ to Christ,
Christ to Christa.
Where it was like Reese's.
Yes, the Reese's one.
Jesus. I almost said Jeezy's.
Jesus.
What does that mean?
Ketchup with Jesus.
Yeah.
One was it was like the Tide or something like that. But it had, what was the Christian word? Because I actually didn't realize that it was a parody. Because I didn't know household cleaners very well when I was a child. And so I just thought, I was like, why are they selling this here? It said a Gain, it said like Grace. And I was like, when they get a Grace laundry shirt here?
Dude, I went to a camp. This is pertinent now, seeing as what we've endured for the past over, going on a year and a half. I went to a camp a couple years ago. I was a counselor at a camp for Church of God. I'm going to dox him. Church of God. If you're a Church of God listener, listen. Your camp in South Carolina did something bad. It was called Viral Camp. Have I talked about this?
Yeah.
Viral
Or at least
Camp.
you told me about it. I don't know if you talked about it on here.
And they had they had oil tanks with the viral, the whole skull bones logo on a bunch of stuff on stage and throughout the campgrounds, and they had yellow tape and hey, Josh, you got to make your faith go viral.
This is a movie where it's like, little did they know.
Dude, I didn't take pictures with my phone on that trip just because the camp was extremely cringy the whole time. And I was like, what am I doing here? But now thinking back on it, I'm like, man, whatever videos or pictures they took that week have aged like milk.
Oof.
Not good at all. But, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, man.
You want to hope somebody had good intentions coming up with that idea, right?
Somebody had good intention. Speaking of good intentions and terrible church
execution.
That was the old tagline for SoundCloud Christians.
Yeah, good intentions. Good intentions.
I led worship for a lock-in for a guy I went to college with, and I found out the speaker that he had was a guy that we knew all in college, and I wasn't super fond of him because I thought he was a little crazy. And this just reinforced it. Yeah. So I'm talking to him. I was early in my worship leading career, so I was super intentional about so what are you speaking on? So I can really craft the set list. And you're doing those motions.
Hollow it out. I'm gonna hollow out the beat, make it nice and acoustic for you.
Let's get it going.
When you come up, yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, man, yeah. So I'm gonna come at him really hard. I'm gonna talk about when my uncle sexually assaulted me.
Oh.
And I go. So I'm gonna do Mighty to Save.
You guys know Waymaker?
Y'all
He touched me?
And now I know? No, I don't.
This is bad.
So it gets.
I thought it was we planned. I thought it was planned.
You don't think so, but this can get worse. Because we were in a gymnasium, and then I look around and I go, hey, what's that fire pit for? And he goes, I've been soaking these logs in gasoline since I got here. and I'm going to light it on fire when I talk about how the fire of God could take over. And I was like, oh.
Hey, bro, I don't know if you know how gasoline works, but you don't have to soak them.
we were inside a building.
Yeah.
To protect the children, they put a drum cage around the fire pit.
No, dude.
And so I finished my set, and my wife later goes, I think that was the moment I became an extrovert and good at worship leading, because she was like, yeah, you had to. No. I was doing everything that day. And then we come off stage, and I was literally laying on the ground with my hands over my head, just what is happening now? What is happening?
As he was about to go up and speak?
Oh, yeah. And he does everything he told me he was going to do.
No.
great detail. Way too much detail for like.
Oh man.
Too much
Children?
detail for a courtroom.
Even the judge would be like, I find you and
Have
I
some
hold you in
decency,
contempt. Like, I'm just saying what happened to
There's
me.
somebody in the corner
it's
sketching
my
it.
experience. And even the dude in the corner is like just sobbing, like I don't like making $12.50 an hour this much.
Dude, I did worship at another dude.
What about the logs? The gas soaked logs.
Oh yeah, they didn't end up like God protected us that night and they didn't light.
They didn't.
No, they didn't light, which was one hilarious because he was like, guys, turn all the lights off, and like the light switches
man.
weren't nearby.
Yeah.
because it was a very
So
small
somebody had
group.
to like freaking
Somebody had
jog
to, like,
around
run
the
over-
corner.
They turned the lights off, and he goes, "All right, guys, watch." Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh, so and he keeps like trying to redo the thing. It's like, so the love of God is like
yeah.
the love of God is like.
You know, when God really takes over your life, it's like sorry guys. It's just like gas soaked
Have a
logs
great
that
week.
don't-
We'll see you later.
That really just highlights the cringe that he really wanted to say a certain thing.
Yes.
as he did this. So
Yeah.
he put a lot of thought into this.
Do you know what I think it is too? It's there are people who are wordsmiths. There are people who like write, and you can paint that as an analogy. But then there are people who are like, no, I need people to have a visual of what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, hey, explain what the love of God, does in your life with your words, right?
your words.
Paint a picture, right? We are listening to you. We're watching. We're here. You don't got to do like some flashy gimmick, dude. This isn't the circus.
Man, so this other conference that I did, speaking of like gimmicks,
Yeah.
this speaker was somebody that I saw at conferences when I was 14.
Is this have we talked about this? This is the guy who tore
Yeah.
phone books?
No,
Okay,
he didn't tear
okay.
phone books.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he did.
I need to talk about that. Then.
He was a chaplain of a local state college football team.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys that liked to pad his stats. So he'd be like, so they were there, it was 4th and 42. The championship was on the line, and I looked at the quarterback right before he threw the ball, and I said, if you die tonight, where are you gonna go? And he sobbed, and he said, Jesus help me! And he threw the ball, and then I caught it, and we won. I was like, I don't think any of that happens.
You're like, hey, I think you just kind of made that up for emphasis.
I wasn't. So my mind was on football. I was thinking like you were gonna say that he said like, what do you want to do? A slant route? Like, but then no, like
Not this guy.
We're
Not this
going
guy.
to heaven.
So when he got there and I realized that he was going to be speaking, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I looked up to him a lot when I was young because he's a good speaker.
Yeah.
But I also found out he's a good speaker. He's a great guy. He's a good speaker because he has 4 messages. And every conference he goes to for the last 20 years, same 4 messages.
Wow.
I started quoting them along with him. And they
Yeah.
all have each one has problematic parts. It's like he wanted to.
you knew when to go to the bathroom.
He wanted to show how. Let's see. He really wanted to show how fast he could run, but instead he wanted to show what it was like when God ran to you, and so then he would split the chairs. It's like, guys, move, because I'm a big boy and I'm running through, and then he would run through the crowd.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter how big the room is.
What a toddler thing to want to do. Hey,
then be like-
look how fast I can run.
So this is how God runs to you.
Yeah. Was he even that fast?
I mean, I guess he was a football player, so it's like football fast.
Well, I don't understand. Did he have somebody timing him?
No.
Well, what-
Athletes
what-
need to be stopped.
did he have linebacker build or lineman build?
Linebacker.
Okay.
But also, like most church stories, it gets worse.
Hey, this is true.
So the next day, I think this was the nighttime. This was the big finale. Although I knew what was to come, was talking about when Jesus was taking the beatings. And it's good enough just to say, man, he took a really bad beating.
Yeah.
But no, this guy had to go. Let me show you. All right, who here thinks they're the strongest guys in this room?
Oh no.
And they bring the strongest guys up, and he goes, I'm going to bend over, and I want you to beat on my back as hard as you possibly can
With
your fist.
Wait, you said
Now-
he has 4 messages, so he's done this stunt a bunch of times. When
Yeah.
does his back just break?
So, well, this is the thing. When he was 20 years ago, he was, I don't know, I guess 35.
Yeah.
So that, okay, that's one thing. And you're
beat on my back.
You're in your prime, and
Yeah.
it's like, kids now are really strong.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can only use this part of your hand. And there'd be another.
That's a
Dude,
bad part.
homeboy like fell on the ground. Or like this one guy just goes,
Really?
he just dropped. He goes, oh, okay. So what happened was Jesus had worse than that.
That's hilarious.
So then his whole thing is about like 4 chairs and which chair are you? You know, are you the? And he brings his own folding chairs. Now this sermon has worked a lot. It's a good sermon on its own. It's just been done now, and so he goes through it, and then he. Do you remember the song "When God Ran"?
I don't remember that song. No.
Is there any way we can pull it up?
Yeah, you do that.
1 second though. Which chair are you? It was like, are you a recliner?
No, they're all folding chairs.
Okay.
One is like, I know that I'm not a Christian and I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I could become a Christian, but whatever. Then the third one was like, it was like the lukewarm, and then the fourth one was on fire. And like each time, like he would take the chair and get so moved, like the third chair, he's like, I hate this chair. He's like throwing it.
What was the name of the song?
When God Ran.
Yeah.
So he decided then to pull out a CD player, not to ask the worship leader to play it, but to pull out a CD player and to play this version.
Is this
No,
it?
this is an ad.
Okay.
A little
So
piece,
not this
a little
added.
PCD.
Stand by.
Oh
This-
man, they got a lot of views though.
Phillips, Craig, and Dean.
Yeah.
This is graphic, man. This is very, very 2002.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is like from the early 90s.
You can see "I'm a Friend of God" lyrics over this.
And he starts speaking along with it,
With this,
singing along with it.
it's got the long intro.
Yeah, it does. Almighty God.
So not singing, like saying it.
Then he would say, the great I am. Like he would sing it
Okay.
poorly then after that. Yeah. He starts crying on stage. And like the crew that we were with, I leave out, these are Christian school kids.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just a regular church camp. These are kids that have grown up going to chapel 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Like the most jaded kids you can imagine. They're laughing. And there's only like 40 kids or so, like it's not one where you can like hide by laughter. People like and he's crying on stage. And like,
This is the last night. He's
it's the
building it
last
up.
night. It's and like I was, and then afterwards, like, all right, Josh gonna come sing this song, and I was like, it was some other song, like "How Great Is Our God," and I was like, I wasn't prepared for that one. I don't have. I mean, everybody knows how great is our God at this point, but I was like,
He used to be a football player. He called an audible.
yeah.
Oh
But
man.
he had this thing where he wanted to be prayed over before every single sermon. And I had a friend that traveled with him, and apparently he had gotten food poisoning, and so he's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. The guy's like, all right, have fun. He goes, no, you're coming with me.
What?
So he's in the bathroom getting sick, telling the other guys like, you gotta pray for me. Pray for me. Pray for me. Tell my story.
I would have called the cops. Omaha, Blue 82. Said what?
Hey, what's that?
Ray's coffee.
Ooh, tell us more about this mysterious coffee bag.
Ray's Coffee is a wonderful company that will let you set up a campaign to fundraise.
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, no risk.
No risk.
100% free.
100%
reward.
free. Delicious coffee. You
Yeah.
give it to your friends. They won't hate you after because you're not giving them a horrible product for the fundraiser.
Yeah. Hey, I actually go to a Christian university.
Yeah.
People are always asking me to donate to their mission trip or for like their classroom fund because they're education major, stuff like that. And I never get anything cool in return.
Womp womp.
Just like that feeling of helping someone or whatever.
And who wants that?
Yeah, I mean, well, you do want that, but Ray's Coffee has created they've created a new bridge so that the people who are fundraising and the people who are supporting are both compensated well because the people who are supporting now get coffee in return, and every single morning they wake up, they get to create a great cup of coffee, and then go, hey, I'm reminded today of the girl or the couple or the youth group that had to do a thing or wanted to do a thing, and I helped them do that.
All you have to do is go to raise.coffee. It's less than 5 minutes to set up a campaign, 100% free, and everyone's happy.
Give me that bag of coffee, PD.
There you go.
You just raised it. Guys, go to raise.coffee today. Oh, dude, do you remember, I don't know if we had talked about this or not, but there was a time when, back in the early 2000s, that they would have these, I don't know what they were called. Can you look up Christian Strongman Group?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
I've seen them live.
You, me too. Have you?
I think it was a requirement.
Wait,
Yeah.
I've seen them. I'm not even joking. I've seen them.
So it was like a time when they would hire these, it's called Christian Powerhouse, I think. Look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break a phone book because Jesus loves me, and then I'm gonna bend this metal
But it was
rod.
like bending bars, but their big
Yeah.
shtick was like,
They would bend a bar into a heart.
We didn't bring anything. We was like we asked your church to provide all these equipment. We didn't tell them to bring this cement brick. They brought it.
I saw these people.
The power team.
Yeah,
Pull
click
up
on that
the
one right
power
there.
team.
I saw these people at the Simpsonville Fair. I'm not even joking.
Man, what? Do you know what year that was?
3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Man, they were on the down. They were on the other side of the slope then. Because when I knew them, they were playing arenas. Now
Yeah.
they're like, hey, Simpsonville Fair.
I saw
we
them
get
at
like
an
a
arena.
Can we do the farmers market?
So get this.
Tuesday morning.
They opened POD, of course. Hoosha!
All the flames.
Hey, can you pause that real quick?
The flames.
How many of these dudes, if there are 10 guys on a team, how many do you think were real Christians?
-4.
Yeah.
Like, not only were they not Christians, they were
know what
like
I mean?
Muslim.
Hey,
I bet you, like, you hope.
I bet they were just like, look, you get to get roided up and smash stuff, and all you gotta do is scream about Jesus.
Yeah,
that's the only trade-off.
And it's for kids.
And it's for
Sign
kids.
me up. Sign me up.
Yeah, our parents would willingly be like, hey, there's some strange men in the auditorium. Go have fun. They're going to turn the lights off.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no, there's fire. No, there's pyrotechnics, Mom.
So I would call my dad right now, except he's working at Relentless Church at the moment. But
he is?
yeah, he took me to see Willie Robertson. And guess who opened for Willie Robertson?
The Power Team?
The Power Team.
What a combo that is.
Do you think the touring company was like, they're in the same city?
both Christian.
You're gonna be in the same city.
This guy's got a beard.
They gave you camouflage Bibles when you walked in.
The camouflage Bibles.
The different Bibles that came up when we were kids.
Yeah. There was like the manly teen Bible.
The manly
that
teen.
was like, dude, God loves you, dude.
Oh,
I'm
there
like,
are too many
hey,
my
offshoot
favorite,
Bibles.
my favorite was it was a metal casing one. It looked like a soda can.
I've seen this.
Soda can, and it was like the word of God is like,
Carbonated.
Crack open a cold word of God.
I found a certain translation. I can't even find it online anymore. It was literally called the Word on the Street.
The word on the street.
Yeah,
Just like
Slang.
pre the message translation.
it was like right when the message was coming out.
Yeah.
But this was written to inner cities by what I'm assuming was like the SBC's oldest members.
Oh, that's
They're
hilarious.
like, yo, dog, Jesus wants to be in your heart on the
Yeah.
flip flop, on the blick blop. And you're like, what is he
Jesus,
saying?
it'd be like, and Jesus said, "You guys are my homies." And there's like
My cronies.
I took that. I majored in Bible, and I would take that to school.
And Jesus said,
Or like they'd be like, "Hey, Josh, can you read like from Luke?" And
I
like,
would love to. hey, blast some more of this Power Team real quick.
yeah.
how many injuries do you think they had?
A lot. If
Like
those are real things.
How many times do you think that the gag went bad?
As someone who is specialized in fake strong people, these are not real bricks.
They are real. They are real bricks now.
But they're just.
But it's real bricks combined with.
I like that
fake
kick.
bricks.
Oh.
What's happening here?
Is he
blowing- he's
headbanging
just blowing
while
up a
blowing a balloon? Like POD,
God
yeah,
wants
it
to-
makes me want to blow a balloon.
Oh, he's gonna make it. He's gonna bust the.
Oh, what?
I love how they cut it on the boom.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
know that the
I like how this is supposed to be a tough. It's like I'm a tough, strong man.
He ripped the phone book in the easiest way though, like at the seam.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but like
They bake the phone books beforehand to make the pages.
Do they
brittle.
really?
Yeah.
Shut up. How do you know this?
Because I was a professional wrestler for a long time.
They baked the phone books?
Yeah.
Man, I feel connived.
Also, think about like just trying to convince that to, like, convince kids right now, like, we're gonna rip a phone book. Like, what's a phone book?
Yeah. Could you rip my contacts in my phone?
So you printed the internet, and then you you printed Google Maps, and then you're gonna tear it. Okay, boomer.
I mean, that being said, they're still obviously very strong. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
you can't
they're
fake
jacked,
break a
they're
baseball bat.
roided.
Yeah, I don't know about steroids,
Why
but
is he
these
that-
dudes.
Why are they just moving this fast though?
Well, you know what it was? Back at during this time, like, I don't know, about 3 years ago when they were playing fairs. But, you know, there was little to no entertainment for, like, young Christians, so they're like, what if we brought, you want big muscles, right? You want to be,
You know, Jesus
you
had
wanna
big muscles.
be big, right? What if we brought in 12 roided out big dudes to entertain you, right?
I think that
How
last
about
guy was running from the police.
He was.
I like how they.
And so now it's like, dude, I went to. My friend said his church one time gave out a just to show you where the excitement level for young people is with church. They said one church here in town, they gave out a brand new car one Wednesday at youth group, and he said it didn't really push the excitement needle. Like, there were still kids outside being like, yeah, my friend Jim's about to pull up in his car, so his mom's dropping him off, so I'm waiting for him. Not like losing their mind over like the car. They were just sort of like,
And then
man,
there
I
was
hope they've got
us.
Doritos at the concession
Yeah,
stand.
and then
You
there
know
was
what I mean?
us that were like, guys, we're getting
Free
pizza!
Yeah.
And it's cut up into finger-sized slices. Let's go!
But the extreme, like, theme of, like, the late 90s, early 2000s that we
Yeah.
all had to live through was just absurd when you think about it now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Especially, like, you know, the amount of, like, Jesus that was kind of sprinkled,
Yeah.
lightly dusted over it. Was like,
Salt
hey, they're
Bay Jesus.
hey, they're tearing up phone books for Jesus.
For Jesus.
If the whole thing is like, I'm a big tough man,
Yeah.
then why'd they break out pink balloons?
Oh man! Hey, I soaked these logs in gasoline for Jesus.
I'm going to let you punch me in the back.
For Jesus. Dude, did you ever hear about the guy a couple years ago who let his youth group like cut his back with knives?
Yes!
Could you Google this real quick?
Yeah.
It was like over Easter. He wanted. We talked about
reread
this on the
it,
show. Yeah. But
Is
that
it-
was like same energy, right?
Yeah.
The same energy of like, hey, I want you guys to experience how
Is it like a video?
Jesus. I think it's probably like a news clip.
It's
I'm
not
glad
a video.
there's not a video. I wouldn't
I
watch
think
it.
it's- no, there are some clips though.
Oh no!
So
But it was just
from the
so
kids'
cringy.
Snapchats.
It was
what
like
do I search?
youth pastor gets beaten by youth group.
Youth pastor gets shot 6 times.
Hey, actually, no.
Go back.
Go back. Youth pastor gets shot 6 times. Let's go to that.
This
new,
might be
new
a
agenda.
little dark.
Oh, God.
Hit that article, Georgia youth pastor.
While helping friend in need.
Aw.
Man.
You got a friend in
Georgia youth
need.
pastor shot 6 times while helping friend in need. Golly, man.
Hey, if you're at home, pour one out for the youth pastor.
He was shot 6 times and survived.
Pastor Lord
I mean,
Woods.
hey, how many times was 50 Cent shot? 5? This dude is he now 50 Cent now? Is this how this works?
60 cents.
50 cents.
You get 10 cents for every shot.
Oh
50
man,
repent.
the 29.
All right, so
50
this one quote,
repents.
though, I know I heard at least 13 rounds, and all of them went towards my head.
Oh my gosh.
I,
When I
I've
dunked-
never been shot at, but most of the time in most of the videos, I can't really tell where the bullets are headed.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm running from, like, guys, no, I knew.
He's like, listen,
know.
I assessed the situation.
I
saw the bullets
assessed it.
coming straight from my head.
And
That
you ever,
accent's probably
seen
accurate.
The Matrix? That's what the Holy Spirit did to me. I saw the bullets in slow motion for Jesus.
But look, he assessed wrong because when he ducked, he got hit in the face.
So it's like,
I
hey
hate
man.
to, I don't want to laugh at, like, he was helping someone and stuff.
But he survived. You know what I mean? If he was
Oh,
dead, that'd be a different story.
he's okay, so we can laugh at his trauma.
Yeah.
We can laugh at his
All right,
PTSD.
go back up a little bit. All right, so this is a 29-year-old father of 10.
What did he
Yes.
say?
Oh,
Father of 10. Golly.
this youth pastor, I don't think he had a lot of time to preach.
Hold on a second. 29, father of 10. That means if he started at 18, he's had a baby every single year. I mean,
we need to be
whether
looking at these
with
retreats.
one woman or not, you know what I mean? Like, this man is like, hey, number one,
Wait a
I'm trying to
second.
do something before I'm 30 here. You know what I'm saying?
We need to audit these retreats and figure out what's happening.
This
Maybe
is going to
his
be a
congregation.
35-year-old granddad.
But then
if
he goes
plays
and
his
he
cards
arrives
right.
at a female friend and her ex-boyfriend.
Well, hold on here. Wood said the shooter told him that they could leave, and then as they pulled off, the shooter started firing.
So I started blasting.
I feel like that's worse than shooting someone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Hey,
y'all can go.
you're good. You're good.
Psych.
I'm not gonna shoot you.
Wink,
I'm
wink.
gonna shoot.
What were you saying, PD?
Oh, maybe his congregation is his children.
He was like, they're my spiritual children. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
I
man.
don't really think you could say
But
father of 10.
for tax reasons.
For tax reason, they're my kids. You know what I'm saying? You got a black, Asian, and a Mexican kid. They're my kids.
They're my
okay?
kids.
They're my kids.
You don't mess with my kids. What were we looking up?
Youth pastor, let's
Lets you down.
Yeah, click on that now.
the suggestions are a lot better than the story. When your youth pastor lets you down.
Preach
Is this
it,
an
teach
article
it.
about
It's an
what to
article.
do? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, let me just read the first. Pastors are awesome. Pastors have an awesome calling. They were my heroes. I served them through the pastors.com
Go to
community.
pastors.com.
This is what a rabbit trail, man.
It's like realtors.com where you can just like buy pastors.
Yeah.
The pastors.com go their logo, as you know, is a shepherd's staff. The top of a shepherd's staff.
Start shopping. Let's go buy a pastor.
Wait a second. Build your pastor.
Can I get a Methodist?
I want a Stephen Furtick hair with a TD Jakes voice. Hey, of course Rick Warren's
Do we
behind
want Ron Carpenter arms or Stephen Furtick arms?
I want Ron Carpenter arms, but then I want the Michelin Man Pastor John Gray build.
Oh dear Lord. That is a nightmare of a thought to think through.
That's like the angels who have like wings. They have 7 wings on their back and 8 wings on their front.
Oh, hey,
and 72 eyes.
There was another article with a different perspective. What to do when your youth lets you down.
Oh.
But anyways.
That's yeah.
I think I found
That's one of
it.
those like when your youth pastor lets you down. They're like, are those both written by youth? You know what I mean? What to do with your youth?
Yeah,
what
we
to do
don't-
with
Your youths.
Ohio church apologized after shocking video shows youth pastor asking kids to cut him
We ain't got to watch
in
it.
an Easter lesson.
Yeah,
But either way, like we said, man, too much gimmicks, guys.
Yeah, gimmicks belong in pro wrestling.
That's
And
right,
pro wrestling
son.
alone. Hey,
man.
let's wind this down, man. Josh, this has been really good. Josh, hey, listen, we can't state this enough. Cohesive Coffee. This is the coffee shop you run. Please, guys, visit if you're in the upstate, if you're coming through. Visit Cohesive Coffee.
Yes.
They're close to 385.
Right next to White Duck Taco.
Right next to White Duck Taco. I'm actually very excited. My praise report is actually I got a MacBook. I got a new computer coming in.
Boom.
That I can finally do editing on so now I can actually work at Cohesive because in the past I
Yes.
was tied to my
Your
my
iPad.
beast my iPad. Yeah, I work off of like an iPad Mini. It's not even an iPad. It's the Mini. It's the 4-inch screen.
It's an iPhone with a keyboard.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna check. We'll add directions or whatnot.
We love
there.
it. We got some amazing customers.
Can we tell people to leave you a good review?
I would love that. Would
Guys,
love that.
Church Stories Army. Are we calling them an army?
Church Stories Army.
Church stories.
Church Stories Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Does it need to start with
We
an
write
S?
it down. Does it need to start with what?
With an S? Like
Church Stories Soldiers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I
Soldiers.
think it's solid.
Like they've earned something by listening every
We
week.
salute them when we
They're,
see them in
they're the
public.
enlisted men.
The few, the proud. No. Sorry. Yeah.
Man, do I have time for one more story?
You do, yeah.
Can I share that story I shared with you guys the other day about my customer?
Oh.
No, I'll share it off. I'll share it off
share
air.
it off
I'll
air.
share it off air.
Hey, listen. There's church stories, and then there's stories.
Drew said to share it.
Drew did.
Wow.
I can't believe he'd say
He goes,
that.
he would love it.
Church.
It's a great
No,
story.
no,
It's a
we'll tell-
fantastic story.
It is really funny.
You guys are gonna love not hearing it.
PD.
yeah, because I'm in the dark on this.
Hey guys, Patreon. We don't have a Patreon. What if we should promote a Patreon that doesn't exist? If you want to hear Josh's secret church story, find him. Go to Cohesive. You got to
Go
go
to
to
Cohesive.
Yeah. That's my praise report. Is
They can follow us on Instagram
follow him
for
on
all
Instagram.
the non-Christian coffee shop tips and tricks.
And if you're a Christian coffee shop, I don't know, man.
That's
Why
cool
are
too.
you not in a church right now? Why are you not in a
That's
church
cool too.
foyer? Yeah.
Yeah, that day that you posted the Christian Coffee House video, we had literally like 20 follows, and then the next day we had 20 unfollows.
Were people just expecting like every pour just has the cross in it in every latte, or like
We literally pray over the beans.
Spell out grace in each like no, man. We're in the process of making bean juice, okay? follow for that. We end with praise reports, Josh. PD, what's your praise report?
Like we just went
PD
on
praise.
a rabbit hole. My praise report is that I went to bed watching, I think it was Andrew Yang and Ben Shapiro
Oh man.
having like a friendly debate type thing.
Is this
then
recent?
but then I wake up and I'm watching a documentary about child serial killers. So
You left it
I want to
just
know.
playing on
I want to
TV.
know how that
left it on
transaction.
autoplay.
It was like because you enjoyed this, because you watched. Hey man, if you're into that, it's like a drug dealer.
Which one are they inferring is like that from the first
I
two?
don't know. The YouTube algorithm is just a shady dude in a trench coat. Like, hey,
If you like
yeah,
that,
I saw. If you liked that, come here, dog. Come here. Oh, you like that documentary about whales? How about this video of some dudes clubbing baby seals? Hey, not the same thing, YouTube. Hey, not the same thing, Mr. YouTube.
I keep getting recommended Shama's videos.
Yeah.
'Cause I saw him all day today.
They're like, hey, if you liked him in person, how about his videos? That's funny. Josh, what's your praise report, dog?
well, man, I'm excited for used bookstores because I too went down a weird rabbit hole last night. Not that weird, but like a rabbit hole on how Elvis went from like the tweed jacket, like skinny dude, to a jumpsuit who also was a federal narcotics agent.
What?
Yeah,
Narcotics agent?
Yeah, so he liked drugs, which is not good, but liked them. And in an effort to do that, he convinced President Nixon. He just went to the White House, said, Nixon, I want to get a federal agent narcotics badge, got it, and then could carry that and weapons with him wherever he wanted.
That's the
So
most
I've been
rock star thing.
So I've been fascinated by the journey of that. Wow. And so I'm thankful for used bookstores where I was able to get books on that.
So like it's the most rock star thing, but also not, because you're like, hey, Mr. President, can I do drugs?
The best part is when he got to Nixon, he said, "Man, I'm one of you. I want to stop these hippies. The Beatles have brought the drugs over because they didn't like each other.
Oh.
The Beatles have brought these drugs over, and I don't know why he's talking like he's from like South Anderson, but
True Grit.
I might. But we gonna stop them together." And the president's like, all right.
That's like
amazing.
I've seen on Twitter people tweet like, hey, celebrities when they get way too famous, and that's like they've beat the game of life, and they're just doing side quests.
Yeah.
That's
Snoop
Elvis.
Dogg.
Elvis
Become a federal
Snoop Dogg's
agent. He's
hey,
like,
I'm gonna be a
all right.
federal agent, and Snoop Dogg's like, can I be Snoop Lion for about a year? How about that? And is anybody gonna let me? And then you do that, and you're like, hey, I'm in Cancun now. What?
Yeah.
What
I'm
point?
trying to reach the level of famous where I can just walk into the White House and ask for a federal investigation badge.
And they're
Right.
like, Chase, come on.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. You got it. This is
Yeah,
President
he apparently told
Bernie
him-
Sanders when he's like 102 years old. Chase, my man.
You did that cohesive coffee commercial. Anything
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. A badge for you.
Elvis apparently told me, he's like, I'm willing to go through whatever training. And like Nixon's like, nah, it's fine. It's fine. Here, take it. Get your gun on the way out.
I'm gonna do that, except I'm gonna be like, put me in the IRS. No more taxes for me. Is that what that means?
Sure.
that-
Yeah, I guess.
Put me in the IRS.
I'm slowly advancing. I'm at the phase of life right now that I've been working towards it for a long time. Is that if I'm at a restaurant, I I order what I want without looking at the price.
Oh,
that's
man.
that's a big flex. That's kind of a big flex.
That's a big flex.
Wow.
That's a big.
Now,
your boy worked hard. Your boy made VeggieTales remix.
What kind of restaurants are we talking about?
I'm talking IHOP, Denny's.
There you go.
I'm talking Taco Bell.
Oh,
I'm talking
Any lean cuisine I want. All the lean cuisines.
I'm talking top shelf frozen food section at my local Walmart.
I supersized without even thinking about
I don't
it.
even think about it. I'm talking extra guac. Guac is extra. I want it. Okay.
They're like, it's free.
Put
You're like,
guac
no,
in my
charge
hand.
it.
How much the scoop of guac in my hand? I want to lap it up like a dog. That's gross.
Yeah.
That's the level of money that I'm currently at right now.
I do the same thing, but with gasoline. It was like, I don't have to try to.
Hey, I don't want to. What am I doing?
I'm just gonna fill it up. Look at me.
Have you ever been to a pump and you see somebody with like who just pumped like $3, and that's like, and you're like, man,
Get your life
man.
together.
Can I help you?
Sorry, dude. Yeah, sorry, man.
I've got a problem where if I've spent a bunch of money on Amazon, then I'm like, I've already spent so much money. It's not gonna hurt. Just buy all these other things.
Yeah.
I'm already in it. It resets tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's like my wife's big thing. My wife's like, we need to stick to a budget. We need to. And I'll be like, hey, I got Ezra like a cool lamp for his room. She was like, why? And I was like, I want my son to have a cool lamp. And she was like, well, why don't you wait to get it to him for his birthday or like Christmas? I'm like, so 2 times a year? You think I'm working to get my son something twice a year?
I went to Target yesterday to buy super glue.
Yeah.
While going out, I do need a new bathing suit.
You're like, look
so
at
I
this.
obviously bought 3 bathing suits, and then also bought a novelty patriotic Hawaiian shirt.
Come on.
That honestly is super comfortable. I wore it back and forth to the pool now.
See, that's my wife was like, hey, maybe we should have restraint, and like wait to buy things. And I'm like, why wait? What if
You
I
can
die
restrain.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
What if I die next month? And I don't want people to be like, oh man, I don't want my son to be like, man, my dad never got me a cool lamp that blasted stars all over my room.
Well, you left
See
that
what I'm
part
saying?
out.
Whenever
It blasts
You left the stars
the
out.
universe all over his ceiling.
Whenever you tell stories like this, I sit in the corner like, poor Grace. Like, she's really trying to stay financially. And Shama's over here blowing all of
Can
the
we call
money.
Grace? Can we call Grace right now?
No.
It's like, Shama,
Everybody, I don't need somebody who's
I
not
bought
on
a
my side right
life-size
now.
dinosaur
she's
for
like,
us.
Shama, we need diapers for our 2 children. He's like, extra guac
Extra guac.
and lamps.
Guac in both hands.
I had a situation like this with Lauren
Marriage
recently.
is different. Josh, you know.
Where I told Laura, I was like, yeah, I just went to 7-Eleven to go buy Liquid Death. And she's like, you left your house for canned water. When you can just go make water for free.
Here's my excuse is I grew up poor. All right? And money's not like burning a hole in my pocket. But I grew up poor with nothing. So now I'm like, I want everything I didn't have when I was a kid. You know? So my wife would be like, hey, we'll be flying somewhere. She was like, should I pack snacks? And I'm like, what am I? Are you going to give me $20 to go to camp? No, I'm going to eat at the airport. I don't care that yogurt costs $13.
When I was a kid, my parents, we would bring all of our friends would go to the dollar theater. My parents would smuggle like
Candy and stuff.
one Coke soda in and like 5 cups.
Yeah.
And bring them in. And like now I'm like we went to the church I was working. We went to Dollywood. My dad would always tell me, it's like, Josh, now they have to give you free water. You go up, they have to. So they gave me $20. They're like, hey, this is just for your snacks today. And I was like, I gave them $20 back then. I was like, I couldn't do it. I didn't know how.
Really?
Oh.
I was like, I don't know. I've
Never bought things before.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't know how to- I don't know how to
poor
money.
child,
Sorry, I don't
like a
know.
toddler. They just gave $20.
You're
Just like
walking around with a bowl of soup. Please, more.
I was
like, you can get snacks. I was like, I'll take a burger. I
I don't know.
What do you have?
my mom was furious at me when she did that, like sent me in a gas station with $20 and I spent the whole 20.
I did that once with the candy weighing thing. You know those things where we weigh the candy? It turned out to be like $27.
Oh,
I had to beg.
That's how they get you.
I had to beg for change on the end of a ski trip. I
Really?
was 12 because I didn't have any more money.
Dang. You were like, go. Hey, but you were that kid though. Hey, for part of that trip,
Yeah.
for a couple of hours.
For a couple hours on the way back.
You were
I
that kid with $27 worth of candy. Dog.
It's just like all Sour Patch Kids.
Wow. That's like when you go to like a yogurt, frozen yogurt place,
man.
and they're like, get whatever you want, then we're going to weigh it and we're going to charge you. And you're like, well, I got to get gummy bears and gummy worms, and I got to get crushed Oreos. I'm making a little dirt for the worms.
Oh,
I knew a
dude.
guy.
Dirt for the worms.
I knew a guy that would bring his own gummy bears.
Really?
And like during the line, I didn't know him.
Yeah.
And he's like telling me the toppings, like, all right, now you know the toppings is where they get you. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. And then he like flashes some gummy bears to be in line, and like winks. It's like,
It's like, dude, you have a problem.
He gets her there. He goes, is that it? He winks at me again. He goes, yeah, that's it.
That's how they get you.
You know what it is? It's I guess like I was lame for so long growing up that now I want to stay away from the appearance of lameness to where my wife's like, what if we pack little sandwiches for some? I'm like, nah, dude, I don't want to be the dude that takes a Ziploc sandwich out of my backpack. But it's the same
We're
thing.
gonna order pizza at the pool. We're not taking sandwiches.
Nobody's gonna smack it out of my hand and freaking make fun of me. You know, that's the fiscally responsible thing to do.
Now people are gonna be proud of us.
Nah, I'm at the beach. I'll be at the beach. I'm like, yeah, I got $20. Get me the fries and the sandwich and the chicken nuggets and 2 slices
Me
of
and
pizza.
Chase need to defend Grace again. She's
Yeah.
wanting to do a cute couples thing, like we're gonna eat sandwiches, and stuff,
together.
and it's probably like something she'd be looking
Here's the
forward
The
to.
thing is, here's the thing though. The thing is that I will go, no, we're not gonna pack. We'll just eat when we get there. And she always enjoys
here's
what
the
we
thing.
get when we get there. Yeah.
So all right? So you grew up poor like I did. We weren't crazy poor, but my dad was a youth pastor. My mom stayed at home and then taught at a private Christian school.
Hey, bro. I mean, you needed 5 cents a month. You needed to be in some of those commercials.
But like, so we would go to the beach. And you know the people that would like hand out like ices.
Yeah.
Every year, we'd always ask my mom and my dad, like, can we get one?
Please.
They would get us one for me and my sister to share
Really?
for the whole week. Like later they were like, can we get another icy? It's $3, and they're like, no.
You already got yours.
They would go.
How much in financial ruin were our parents growing up? Do you know
No,
what
then
I
they
mean?
go with
Like,
we take my kids. My dad, who was like the one, is chasing down the icy
guy?
lady with like, can we get 4?
You're like,
every
Dad,
single day. I'm like, Dad, I only have 2 kids, and they're like, well, they might like both flavors.
Really?
Yeah.
They might like both flavors, so I just figure I get it all for them.
The second grandkids are coming around. It's like they got McDonald's money now.
At first, it's like, no, we got food at home. They're like, what do my grandkids want? What do my grandkids want?
But with
I'm doing what's best for my
grandparents,
grandkids.
I wanted the food at home
Oh,
because it was so good.
hey,
Dude,
yeah.
when I got my first like real paycheck from like Walmart as a 16-year-old kid, and I was working like 20, 30 hours a week.
You were
I
rich.
had so much money. I bought the biggest trampoline I could find. Because I was like, I ain't got nothing I need.
How much was the trampoline?
It was like $700 trampoline, dude.
Oh man,
gosh,
I
no.
never made it to that much money.
Hey.
I must have spent my paycheck instantly because I never had more than $150.
I would
know,
do that with concerts and wrestling shows.
I love how you're giving me a hard time about being fiscally responsible to
16.
spend $12 here and there, and you're like, I dropped $700 on bouncy thing.
I was 16. My only bill was the gas to get to work and
How
back.
much money did you have left over after the trampoline?
So much money.
Still,
Dude,
Man,
we
you
got
worked
paid
hard.
We got paid bi-weekly. And so
Really?
I had 2 weeks of pay on a paycheck. I was
Sheesh.
16. I had no bills.
So you're like, your finest trampoline, Saya. Did you buy it at Walmart?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
I went to Academy.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Yeah. I was high rolling.
man, I'm so glad that we didn't have Amazon when we were growing up.
It would have ruined.
I was
it.
about to say, like, I at 17, Impulse purchased a Sinister Gates custom guitar, which was $2,000.
Oh my god.
He's the lead guitarist for Avenged Sevenfold.
As
Hey.
one does.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, there is a balance, right? You know, I love Dave Ramsey. I follow his advice. I appreciate the man. But, you know, the man kind of sometimes advocates for things that I'm like, hey, I mean, I get it. The rice and beans thing, like, I get it.
Yeah,
But
you just
also,
cut your own hair.
Cut your own hair. Be bald like, shave like me to save like me. But it's also like, man, like, there's something really cool about just,
Buying something.
you know, just buying something.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my son was pointed. We were walking out of Walmart the other day, me and him, and he was like, pointed at the like the little toy machine things.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, my parents are telling me no all the time.
Why
like,
not?
We're gonna stop at this.
Yeah.
And I got a quarter.
Yeah.
And I got a quarter. Ooh. I got some leftover VeggieTales money. That's all that. They gave me 2 quarters. All right. I already spent the half.
Right here's 1,500 streams.
Dang.
Yeah. So but that's just
Yeah, that is weird growing up how that was a quarter and our parents were like, no.
Oh no.
No. Maybe next time.
It wasn't even like no though. It was like no. Oh, how much?
Well, the
if I give
problem-
you and your sister and your brother, and I'm like, guys.
But there is a problem that will develop eventually. Like, I was a kid with 50 bouncy balls,
Yo,
You developed
an addiction.
He's that kid in math books.
I can't stop.
Paul's got 50 bouncy balls.
Last night,
Paul's got negative $17.
last night, me and PD were trying to buy some stuff, and we were like, well, we'll split it, and we were Venmoing back and forth for something that wasn't that expensive.
What was it?
It was what did we buy?
hard drive, USB
Yeah.
hard drive.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah, I'll Venmo you. We'll just
We'll like divvy that up.
we're financially
I'm
responsible.
trying to live different, man. I'm trying to live different. Now it's like I remember. I mean, you go to especially like fairs or places
Oh,
where
man.
like, oh, the drinks here are so expensive. Now
They
I'm like,
have to give you water.
That's the most dad thing. Swallow your own saliva.
It's like,
swallow.
you mean bottled water? They're going to ask you that, but that's a trap.
That's how
They're expecting you to say sure.
Chase, hey,
One more thing, actually. I've heard this talked about on podcasts. It's like when you buy something, if it's coming in the mail, there's a part of you that's like, I have to stay alive for when this thing comes.
Oh, God.
I have to, like, if you've not heard,
Oh, yeah.
this is like an old Pete Holmes
I
bit.
got a computer coming in. I'm like, I've called my wife twice today about it. And I'm like, hey, are you up? Are you, just remember, the door might knock and you got to sign for it.
Yeah, it's like nothing can happen to me because I need to be there when this package comes.
Yep. It's
I had
imperative.
contractors that were at my house, and I told them, I was like, hey, my Apple Watch is going to get here. I didn't tell them what it was, but
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
like, I got
can
a
you guys,
very poor
I have a very important prescription. Can you sign for it?
Yeah. And they're like, sure, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, no, it's very important.
It's very important. Now, I mean, it's just, it's just socks.
Yeah,
But
wink,
so you can't make it too important.
It comes without even the box. It just says just Apple Watch, just brand new in the box. Hey, we got to check in with Chase, our producer, real quick. Hey,
Wait.
what's on your mind, Chase?
Did we do that already? Or
We didn't check in with him.
No. Speaking of the Simpsonville Fair, they're in town, and I went yesterday. Me and Liz Beef.
This man is on brand. He's like
All about the fairs.
Yeah.
Is this at Heritage Park?
Yeah.
So you went yesterday.
I went yesterday with
girlfriend.
Liz Beef, and every year is like a tradition. We always go and we ride the Ferris wheel, the big giant one.
Okay.
And so we get up to the Ferris wheel, and immediately like something was off. Because there was a sign that said no single riders. And I was like, well, that doesn't pertain to me. I'm not a loser. So I just kept going.
I'm here with my girlfriend.
But I'm like, that's kind of odd, though.
What if you pay for 2 seats? What if you pay for 2 seats?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I'll get there. So then I'm standing in line, and I'm like, that's weird. There's not usually a line. It's literally a rotating thing with like 30 seats.
Yeah.
It's kind of on and off thing. Why is there a line? And then we get even closer, and there's a sign that was like, if you're big, go away. And I was like,
No.
it's like height wide. No,
hold
I'm
on.
in Sharpie. A red
If you are big,
Go away.
Man, let me tell you something. We got Simpsonville, and then we got Greenville's like, Greenville's like that
Very
cousin.
PC.
Yeah, that cousin who went to an Ivy League. And then Simpsonville's like, hey, if you're too fat.
And so I immediately was like, well, I'm tall. Do they mean tall? Like, so we get there, and then I realize why there's a line. There's only one duo allowed on the Ferris wheel at a time.
Due to COVID?
Oh my god.
No, there was no COVID protocol at this fair. all right?
Really?
None.
That
Zero.
sounds like a Simpsonville Fair thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is only one duo allowed? And you can't be by yourself. You have to have a partner. So me and Elizabeth, we sit in the thing. They strap us down. The dude looks me in my eyes and he goes, "Do not rock the seat." And I was like, okay.
Did y'all get up at that point?
No, like we wrote it.
we go around.
Why did we take that warning?
The second we get to the top, I knew immediately this thing does not need to be used anymore. Like it was shaking, it was creaking. I'm not afraid of many things. I'm afraid of two things: social interaction with strangers and homeless people. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of like falling to my death. Like I've come to peace. All right. But me and Elizabeth looked at each other and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna die."
Oh no, dude!
And we go around once, and we go around twice, and we go around the third time, and I'm kind of like ready to go. I'm like, "This is it. This is the."
Like, as in ready to die?
No, like I'm ready to get off.
He's like, "I've canceled my Amazon subscription.
I got a thing. I've texted my mom. Peace."
You get 3 go arounds, and then they stop you, and then it's the next person's turn. We get off. We very quickly get off, and we're trying to exit the gate. As we're exiting the gate, and the other person, duo, is about to get on, we hear, and I look behind me, and the whole thing had just shifted.
Shut up. The whole Ferris wheel.
The whole Ferris wheel shifted like downward.
The whole Ferris wheel.
Yeah, like and I was like, oh my gosh. And they flipped the "if you're big, go away" sign, and the other side of the paper was out of order.
We've prepared for this.
Okay, Chase, this is on you, dog. You should have just looked around and not gotten on there.
Read the room.
Jeez, man. So yeah, that's what happened.
They're like,
yesterday.
not again.
Hey, so fun fact. A week ago, I went to the Anderson County Fair with a couple of coworkers.
What is it with y'all nerds?
Okay.
What is it with y'all nerds going to fairs and talking about it?
Listen up, Shama. I had nothing to do that day. I was about to just do what I do every day and watch wrestling. But then I get a call. It's like, hey, a girl canceled on me. You want to go to the fair with me? It's from Aston.
Okay.
And I was like, absolutely. I'll just randomly go to the fair. So I went. I ate a funnel cake.
Oh yes.
I am dogging. I do love funnel cakes. Yeah. So I don't know why I'm being very harsh about fairs right now.
I will say there's a
turkey
big difference.
leg.
There's a big difference in my perception of the fair as a kid. Because now that I'm older, I'm like, man, like the people who work here and like travel around.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There must be like,
bro, I can't.
Some shady stuff.
You
going
can't
down.
not think about stuff like
right?
that.
Yeah.
Now I remember when I was younger seeing somebody working at like a grocery store or something, or like somebody, at a restaurant, and you're like, wow, what a great job. They probably make a lot of money. But then now I'm like, I'm at Staples or something, and I'm like, hey man, can I just get these? Thank you so much, man. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, have a great day.
I'll go to the back. I'll go to the back.
Man. Can I check out here or can I go up front? They're like, yeah, either. I'm gonna go up front, man. You don't.
Yeah.
You be okay,
Hey,
dog.
take
you
a
be
nap.
okay,
Take a
man.
nap. I got you.
You good? Hey, have you taken lunch? I'm giving people lunch breaks.
I got you. I'm here for you.
I got you, man. I got you. But yeah, it's like especially people working. Like I filmed a grand opening of a restaurant a couple weeks ago for this restaurant called Juniper, which is like this high end cocktail bar, and it's not. People are like, oh, is it nice? I didn't eat or drink anything, but I just described it as an Applebee's with a view to Josh the other day. That's it. And I came back and Grace was like, oh, the video looks so cool. Would you want to do more stuff like that? And I'm like, no. I was working. I was at an event with great food and live music, and I was working. Nobody wants to be working while people are partying, which is the same thing at a fair where you're like, step right up. You hate your job, sir. You're saying step right up. You hate your job because you're not stepping right up. You're telling people to step up to enjoy a thing that you're not enjoying yourself.
There was a zoo that was really bad. Oh, did we run out of space or something?
No, we're good.
Is it still going?
Yeah, we still got it. Yeah, we ran out of space over there. Yeah, but we're good. We're good.
Just making sure we were being picked up.
It's too long of a podcast. Got it. Yeah, we got it. We got it.
There was a little zoo where you could go in and see all these animals that get to walk around like 2 feet. That's their life.
You're like, oh, cool, a kangaroo.
Which again, as a kid, awesome.
But
now it's like you're just thinking about how depressed all the animals are.
The Greenville Zoo got that new alligator, and they were like, they'd rescued it from somewhere in Florida. And they try to put a really cute spin on it. They're like, this alligator had a habit of visiting neighborhoods. And it's like, so you're putting it in like...
That's the equivalent of like when police kill a black guy and they're like, he stole a pack of gummy bears and went to a frozen yogurt shop a couple years ago.
It's when that happens. It's when that happens and all they do is move them to another police station.
Yeah.
We've got the alligator here now. Now the alligator is our problem.
So that was.
Yeah, now it's our problem.
So that the spin was. He terrorized some people.
No, they were trying to make it like sweet, like he used to like to go and visit the houses. And you're like, he's a 800-pound animal. I don't know how big.
He's looking for snacks.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's in like you guys have seen the gator pond there. It's like it's basically basically like one of those little plastic pools.
Yeah.
Like he's loving it here. I was like, I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
No, I think he wants to go eat Greg.
Petey, did you finish your carnival story?
Rescued is
I don't think there was much more to it other than like it is the most American thing. A fair. Like I was sitting down, my friend had a huge turkey leg. I was eating a funnel cake, and I was like, "This is America."
I would love.
Don't catch it slipping, bro. You just go full Donald. You go full happy. It's happy Donald Glover. This is America.
I'm like, man, this is just the essence of America.
I would love to.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat funnel cake. Yeah. Both hands have turkey legs. Yeah.
Just powdered sugar all over your face. I would love to write something set in a carnival because that's such a great location.
It did feel like I was walking through season 3 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Never watched it. I need to. Yeah. It's been a great episode. We ran out of space on stuff.
Yeah, I just want to say Stranger Things didn't fall off. Shama did.
Hey, don't put that on me, dog.
It's on you.
Hey, Josh, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
I tell people all the time that this is the appropriate level of chaos that I expect from church stories. We need to hit as many links and as many stories and as many songs as possible.
And we need to go over 45 minutes than what we expect.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
That's what people should. If you're a guest on the show, that kind of energy you need to bring.
Yep.
This is a good episode.
Talk about it. And you better have a friend who brings his own gummy worms.
And 2 people better have gone to 2 different fairs and not known about it.
Did y'all even talk about going to the fair?
No.
Because y'all knew it was that talk was dorky.
Bro, take Grace to the fair and you'll have a great time, okay?
Next podcast at the fair on location.
Yes.
On the Ferris wheel.
I legitimately...
We better live stream that.
I got enough money. I could buy the fair, dog.
But Chase,
got $12.
Wait, what?
Did you not have fun?
Oh, I had
had
a great
fun.
time. I had a great time. And you know who's not invited to go with me?
Shama.
Shama.
And guess who's not going to watch Stranger Things season 4 with us?
Oh.
Shama.
You'll do a watch party? You'll do
Yeah,
a
we're
watch
going to have
party?
a watch party.
Just because you don't like it.
Us and our girlfriends.
Oh.
Can I bring my
Grace
my
is
wife?
invited, but not you.
Can I come?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Hey, Ezra
Also,
too.
Also, we gotta announce. Hey, everyone can come. But my the human I made can come to a thing that I. Hey, we have not formally planned it, but we're gonna formally announce it that we have planned a Church Stories Live, the first ever Church Stories Live, and Josh, you've been gracious enough to host us at Cohesive Coffee.
It was great. You just had to blackmail me a little bit.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, no one told me about this.
You didn't? Oh
No.
It's
I never
tonight.
mentioned. I never mentioned this to you.
Hey, Chase,
You brought it up like a month
Chase,
or 2 ago. Yeah.
Hey, listen to the podcast.
Okay, I will.
Listen to this podcast.
Okay, I will. Why? Is there some exciting
Yeah,
news
there's very
there?
exciting news on the very end of this episode with Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, very exciting news.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
And we want to have a very special guest who we won't announce.
Yeah. But yeah,
Do I
so
get to know who
look
that
out.
is?
We don't know. We don't know how we're gonna do this ticket sales or whatnot. We might not even be. It might be just be free.
Love offering
Just
at the door.
Love offering at the door. And there better be at least $2,000 so I can get a matching guitar like PD's in there.
Y'all seen the love offerings? Like people like that wasn't enough. We're doing another one.
Has that been a thing?
I've seen it somewhere where somebody like did an offering and the person was like, "We're going again."
Oh, wow.
Well, in black churches,
Bro, I just
sometimes
leave.
there are like 5 different offerings.
Yeah. You gotta break bill. But also the ushers like will break bills. So if you show up and they're like, "Hey, this is for the building fund," and you're like, "Oh, I got a 20." They're like, "Well, here's
We got
4
some change.
five,
We got
dog.
some change.
Whoa. How much you want back?"
That's great.
I gotta tip the valet outside too, so you
yeah.
got some extra ones.
This is for Janita's new rebuild of her property. She just moved into a rundown, and you're like, "Oh, okay, here you go. Here's a second 5." And they're like, 2 more offerings, dog. I know you broke a 20. I know you broke a 20.
We hit that 4. Everybody's getting pizza.
Hey, let's get out of here. A great episode. Thank you, Josh, for being here.
It's been fun.
Everybody, visit Cohesive, and then also look out for Church Stories Live, the first ever Church Stories Live.
And if there's
Live
a
at
fair near you, go.
Go.
Don't go to no fair, dude.
Me and Chase had fun.
If I find out you went to a fair, dude, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna clown you, dog.
That's not fair, dog.
I'm gonna clown you. I'm gonna clown you if you go to a fair.
No, it's not a circus.
I'm gonna go to a fair.
Are there
I'm gonna
clowns
go
at
to a fair.
fairs?
There was a really cool. We can't keep talking. We gotta.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
am
was.
curious now, though.
Yeah, there was.
Y'all got a lot to talk about. Ton of fun, man.
Oh, do we need to formally end it?
This has been this about that.
And that's been that about this, and yeah.
Woo!